Hi everyone! Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. Welcome back. I am super excited. I thought I would come on this week just to share what I've made over the last week. I actually had a really productive week for inventory, so I thought I'd share that with all of you and share the patterns, where I got them from, what I made, and what my expected price points are for them at market. Before I jump into that, I should introduce myself. I always forget to do that, but my name is Ashley. I have recently started this YouTube channel to talk all things crochet with anybody who else who wants to talk crochet. It's definitely a passion of mine and something that I've been excited to share on social media this year. I've really started to do more of a presence there. So I'm super excited to see that over the past week or so, I've jumped by like 125 subscribers. So all you new folks, hi, so nice to see you all there, and like know people are out there and they also want to talk crochet and they're liking what I have. It's just super humbling, and I am very, very pleased that you all are here with me. So with that, Ashley's Amis is the name of my business. I sell mostly amigurumi crochet items. I started on the market circuit last year, late in the year, and I have really been enjoying it. I had a pretty successful few months on the market circuit, so I'm really excited for this year because I'm going to be doing a full year of markets. And yeah, so with that, I decided I have a market coming up in March. It's going to be my very first 2-day market. It is at a daycare center, which I feel like is a great thing. It's like my prime market, right? I sell stuffed animals, so the kids there, hopefully that'll be something that brings them a little bit of joy. And that's it. I just basically wanted to talk to you all about that, and spacing here because there were some things that I wanted to say, but anyway, I'll just jump into this week and kind of what I want to talk about with you all. Like I said, I want to talk about what I made this week. I made over $600 worth of inventory, which is a little high for what I usually make on inventory, but I was really trying to focus this week on small item inventory. So that turned a lot of product because you can tend to make a lot of the smaller items a little bit more quickly. So I did find that I had a lot of success with that. I did have onesie twosie on like larger items because it gets a little bit boring to do the same item over and over again. And I generally haven't done that for my market presence before, but I do want to kind of have a lot of things on hand as I go into the year, because especially my small items, they turn over really quickly. So I have been focusing on that for the last week. So wanted to move my camera over a little bit because I felt like I was off center talking to you all. But anyway, so with that, I have a bunch of items that I made this week. I'm going to go through, I'm going to share where I got the pattern. Everything that I made was a free pattern this week. Most things that I made took a half hour about to make tops. So those are really good things if you're looking to fill out your market with some small item inventory. Those are just some things that I want to pass along to you guys too, in case you were in search of some new ideas. Some things are a little bit fresh for me. Some things are things that I think we see a lot at different markets, but you see them for a reason, right? They sell. So definitely something that you're going to want to make sure you have some of that on your inventory on hand. So starting off this week, I will just jump right in to these little ice cream octopuses. These are a new item that I'm selling this year. I'm obsessed with them. I found the pattern on Ribblr. I actually don't remember the pattern creator, so I will drop that post-edit right here so that you all can see it. But it is a free pattern on Ribblr for this little ice cream octopus. I already had 5 on hand, and my goal is to have 10 as I go into that 2-day market, just so I feel like I have enough, and even if I sell some, I'll have enough for the market after that. One of my goals is to sign up, I say a full year of markets. My goal right now is just to sign up at least once a month for a market starting in February. So I have my March market lined up. I have the inventory getting built for that. But these are the flavors that I made these little ice cream cones in, these little ice cream octopus in. And here you see I worked all with Big Twist Posh, which I've recently become pretty obsessed with. I definitely like the yarn. I feel like it has that same plush that I'm a big Premier girl, and it has that same plush feel, but it does not have the shed of chenille. So I'm definitely liking that aspect of it. But these are the octopus flavors that I made. I have a cotton candy flavor. I feel like I'm not showing these in their best light, but cotton candy, mint chocolate octopus, which I feel like is so cute. And then orange sherbet, that's right there, and strawberries and cream, and a pistachio or lime sherbet, depending on your preference. But I made those 5 flavors. So I now have all 10 items for this. Free pattern on Ribblr. Takes me about, I would say this is a 35-minute project, 35 to 45 minutes. It's a little more intricate, so I am pricing it at $15 just because it's a little bit more than your standard octopus. But if you are looking to switch up your octopus game, because I think we know that the little octopus, they sell at the markets, and it gets a little repetitive to be making all those octopuses. But if you wanted to switch it up, you wanted to do something a little fun, see how it goes, definitely I think these octopus ice creams are super cute and a good way to go. So that's a free pattern on Ribblr. If you're not familiar with Ribblr, it is an online website. RIBBLR is the website, and they have a ton of free patterns there, a ton of stuff. They have paid patterns too, and just a lot of stuff. If you're a crochet artist or a fiber artist in general, they have stuff there. So I will link what that pattern is, but these are cute little octopus that I'm going to sell for $15. I'm going to try for a $15 price point for these guys at my upcoming market. On that same line, I also did, this actually is not a free pattern. It's the only one, and it's my pattern. I made one of these guys randomly this week because I was pattern testing before I released my new pattern for Berry Blueberry Octopus. Same thing, kind of like if you're tired of making the same old octopus, then this is a way to kind of change up the game. I feel like a lot of people love like the food-centered type of remixes on animals. So I did make this one a little blueberry octopus, and he's cute. He's on sale now. The pattern is on sale in my Etsy shop, Ashley's Ommies by Ashley on Etsy. It is currently on sale for 25% off. And then because I was so excited that I had so many new subscribers on my channel last week, I did launch a promo code just to say thank you to everybody. So these are an additional 50% off the pattern. So I have it listed for $5.70. So at 75% off, that's like roughly $2 that you're paying for the pattern. But if you're looking to switch up your octopus game, definitely this guy I made this week. So I'm counting this for my on-hand inventory, and I'm going to sell him. I think I'm going to try to sell him for $15 too. I'm going to do $12 for him because he was not quite as difficult to do as some of the other patterns can be. So I'm going to try a $12 price point for him and see how that goes. But yeah, that's Berry. Along that same line, I did not make this week, but if you are into switching up your octopus game, this is Sammy Sunflower. She is also my pattern. This is the top of her. She is a sunflower octopus. Pattern is also on sale on my Etsy. 75% off with that social 50 promo code added on top of it, which applies to any of my patterns. So feel free to use that. It's definitely a thank you to you guys. But I just feel like she's so cute. I'm going to try to sell her at my markets for $15 right now. I do have a recommended selling point of $20 on the pattern. I do feel like she's worth that, but I am looking to see how she flips in the market space. So I am going to start off at $15. If she flies off the shelf, then I might think I'm underpricing her a little bit. But super cute. I'm definitely in love with her and her little face and the beauty of the sunflower added on top of that. I feel like it's a great thing for spring markets. So I just thought I'd show her off to you guys, even though I did not make her this week. But that's her, that's Sammy. The other items I made this week that actually ended up being the reason why I was able to make so much inventory value is because I focused on keychains this week. Because I want to really build out my small item inventory. So the the keychains that I made these little whales, which I think we see a lot of at the markets. I made these whales using just chenille by Premier, which I feel like is a much thinner chenille plush weight type of yarn. Actually, you can find Premier de Chenille at the Dollar Tree, which is how I became introduced to Premier in general. And I'm super happy about that because I actually love all things Premier now. But this is a great weight, I feel like, if you want a small item. I think I talk about it in other videos, but like, I feel like keychains should be smaller than a lot of times we're able to make them in crochet. And this, I feel like, is kind of a perfect size keychain. I feel like it's not too bulky. Like we see a lot of times if you're trying to use the regular plush yarn, they do tend to be bigger and it's hard to downsize that. So the Just Chenille by Premier is definitely a good choice for that. Like I said, you can get it at the Dollar Tree. They have a ton of colors. One thing that I found that's a little bit challenging is the Dollar Tree won't always have it. I've been running into a problem lately, especially like with different colors that I need. So I did cave and buy some of the cones off of Premier's website. So it's actually the only way you can buy the Just Chenille is from Premier directly, to my knowledge. If anybody else here knows how to get the Just Chenille, especially the skeins, please drop that in the comments because I would love to do that. But you have to buy it by the cone on Premier. It's $25 for the cone, but it does break down to the same price. You're paying $1 for like 65 yards, which is pretty reasonable, I think, especially with the yield that you get if you're making small items. But I caved, I bought a few of the larger ones, and that's okay. I'm gonna make so much stuff with it. I'm very excited. But these are the small whale keychains that I made. I'm gonna price those at $5 each. And I made 10 of them. I'm not quite sure exactly how the whales will sell, so I figured 10 was like a good starting point for them. So I have $50 in inventory off of these whale keychains because I made those 10 at $5 each. I didn't mention it's $75 in total inventory for my 5 ice cream octopus. Okay, I'm gonna just talk about this for a second. My understanding of octopuses versus octopi is if you're doing a Greek root, it is one version. I think the Greek root is, I'm probably gonna say it wrong. I'm probably gonna say it opposite, but the Greek root is octopi and the Roman root is octopuses. So both are correct, just in case anybody was, you know, like, which one do I say? Both are technically correct. It just depends on whether or not you use one type of root language versus the other. Fun fact. I don't know if anybody needed to know that, but now you do. Welcome to my channel. We have little vocab lessons there. So $75 in product from that, as well as $50 from this and $12 from the blueberry octopus. Another thing that I did this week, so I had told myself, I saw everyone making the chicken nuggets, right? And I told myself, I'm like, I don't want to make chicken nuggets. Like, they're so cute, but like, it's a chicken nugget, come on. And so I saw the free pattern on Instagram for the chicken nuggets, and I was like, fine, I will do it. And I made one. And then it came out and it was so cute. And I was like, oh my God, fine. I have to make a bunch of these. I had ordered a big order from Premier, and I had gotten a bunch of the mustard yarn for a different project. Turns out I actually didn't need that yarn for that. So I had a whole bunch of mustard yarn, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? So I made the little chicken nuggets. I actually made 10 of them. Sorry. They are super cute together. I feel like they're definitely going to sell at the markets. Like, I put up some social media content for them and people loved it. It definitely took off. So I made them. I made 10 in this mini size, which I'm going to sell for 15. It's crazy. I'm going to sell them for $5 a piece. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. And then I also made a supersized one. Both patterns are available on Instagram for free. I will link them. The small one is from Crochet Co on Instagram, and then the larger one, I think it's It's a really fun name. And I keep mixing it up between two different people that I follow, but I think it's Stitches Be Crazy for the larger chicken nugget, free pattern there. Super easy to do. I want to say this one it takes me like less than half an hour to do that, and these ones take about 15 minutes each. So definitely a good thing to like fill out your inventory if that's what you're looking to do on small items. So I'm going to price these at $5 each, and I'm going to price this at $12 for the larger plush. So I made 10 of the small ones, so $50 in inventory there, and then I made 4 of the larger ones, and so that's another $48 in inventory for these kind of things to fill out my shelves on my display rack. So I have those going for the chicken nuggets. I feel like those are gonna flip very well. Other things I made, smaller pricing points. I made these squids. I quickly became obsessed with making these squids. I think I talk about them in a different episode, but they're so easy. It took me a little while to make the first few, and then I got into a rhythm and I've gotten down to making them like in a pretty quick fashion. So I'm pricing these, I think between $12 to $15. I think I'm gonna end up with a $12 price point. That's where I have a lot of my stuff, and I kind of like to keep some consistency among that. And based on the time and the materials, I feel like $12 is pretty reasonable for these. We'll see how they sell. I imagine that they're going to sell pretty quickly. I made 10 of these, so that's $120 worth of inventory for that. With these ones, I was trying to make them. Okay, so I've been doing what we all do, which is like buying too much yarn. I have so much yarn, and I am determined right now to just work through the yarn that I have and work through the materials that I have. So I made these in all the same kind of color palette, like these 3 colors, but I had wanted to make 5 of each, and I ended up only having enough yarn to make, I think I made 4 yellow. I accidentally made 4 gray because I meant to make 3 gray and 3 blue based on what I had for safety eyes left, and I ended up making 4 gray, and now I only have 2 blue. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I do have more of these safety eyes, which I love them. They don't have backs, which I didn't realize, but I got them as a Christmas gift. It was on my list, and I think they're so cute, and they fit very well for the size. I do have another size of them, so maybe I might use those to do another couple of these squids. But there's definitely an ocean theme going on here. Maybe it's because it's like February and I'm a Pisces and we're going into Pisces time here. So I definitely had an ocean creature kind of vibe to this. But this pattern, also for free on Instagram, Amaguru Morgan, I want to say, is the person on Instagram that has these. They're, like I said, super easy to work up. I love that the squids, like it's not just like a regular curly tentacle. It definitely has that like calamari type vibe to it, where it's thinner on the top and then it gets thicker on the bottom. I love that that has like that little added detail to it. But I've been obsessed with these. I've made a bunch of them. I'll probably make a few more, and I will hope that they sell. I do think that they're going to, because they are pretty dang cute. Come on, go look at him. He's so cute. But I have 10 of these, so $120 for that I made. Like I said, they take 35 to 45 minutes tops to make these for me. And that's after I made a couple. I feel like every time I make something, it takes me like a little bit longer to make it the first time. And then after that, I, kind of get into the rhythm and I know the pattern. So I end up whittling down the time, but it definitely took me a little bit longer when I was first starting out on making these. So I have those guys going. I also have, so this represents the majority of my inventory. I have $250 in keychains on these little cat keychains that you might have seen. I have a free tutorial on YouTube for how to make these. These are my pattern. I'll try to get them closer so you can kind of see what they have going on. But I think they're super cute, and I definitely think these are going to sell at markets. Every time I make something that's cats related, it sells immediately. Like I used to sell the loaf cats. I sold all of them that I made in one day. They're a very quick turnover. People like, I had commissions to make cats, especially like people like them in their own cat colors. So I made 50 of these because I do think they're going to sell. And also these do work up in less than 10 minutes to make the entire keychain. So it's a very easy inventory item to do when you have a spare. I think I timed it and it took me less than 7 minutes to do the build, and then you got to add the faces. So adding 3 minutes tops to that, I would say, you know, it's a 10-minute project. So I love these. I lied a little bit. I do not have them in completed inventory because I ran out of my felt dots, and I'm just realizing that I told myself I was gonna buy more white iron-on today, and I totally forgot to do it. I had kind of a crazy afternoon running around. But I do make the eyes myself. I make them on my Cricut, and I don't have any more of the white iron-on. So I was totally gonna do that tonight, and now I'm going to end up doing it tomorrow because I don't have any white iron-on. But I realized that after I knew I was out of my felt circles, which I order these felt circles in different sizes on Amazon because I find it's much easier like to print on the already cut circles. Like my Cricut does not want to cut the felt circles. And then these have like glue backs on them already. So it's super easy. They are adhesive dots. They have them on Amazon. They're pretty reasonably priced. So I had bought a bunch of them, and now I have to make the eyes. So I'm gonna have to sit down and do that. I'm gonna have to weave in all my tails, but I made 5 different colors. I made 10 each in these cats. I have to weave in the tails too. These have nothing to do with it other than they have to be woven in. But I was going to sit on the couch and just kind of pop those out in one night to put all of that. But I tried to make them in different cat colors because I feel like everyone will love to be able to just kind of bring their cat along with them on their keychain. So I definitely think these are going to be a seller. I'm pricing them at $5 each. I've made 50 of them. This huge bucket of cats. But that's what happened. And it didn't even take that long. It somehow magically happened all like in one day. So I made those, and I have those almost ready to go. I just gotta add the keychains, and I gotta add the faces, which does not take that long. But so you can see, those are available. Like I said, I have the YouTube tutorial if you are a visual type of learner. And I also have the pattern for free on my Instagram. I have a written pattern that you have to scroll through on the post. But also that pattern, if you prefer a PDF, is available on my Etsy. It is 75% off, just like the rest of my patterns. So I think that puts it at like $1 and change. So I definitely think that's something that's, you know, gonna turn over quickly for that. So feel free to head to my Etsy. Don't forget to use the code social50 if you are buying a pattern there. That is valid through February for people that want to purchase there. So now I did make a few larger items because it gets kind of tedious to make the same thing over and over again. So I wanted to definitely do a couple of things, and they were still pretty simple, but they had piqued my interest. So one of the things I made was this little cow, which she's adorable for sure. The pattern is free. It's a YouTube tutorial from 1 Cent Crochet. She does great videos on how to do this. I would say the hardest part about this cow is the color changes and also sewing the pieces on. I feel like none of us really love to sew pieces on. We all know how that goes. But I feel like she's super cute. I had a couple of things about this pattern. I think number one, I felt like my color choice now, I feel like it looks great, but when I was making it, like I wasn't loving what I did for the color choice when I saw it all laid out. But the couple of things that I noticed about this is that there's like a gap here where you can see kind of, this was no sew for the legs, the front legs. So you can kind of see where those were single crocheted in, and I didn't love that, and I didn't love the way it looked. So I went ahead and I added this little collar, which was just like chain 20 half double crochet of my own design, and I added this little heart decal, which I feel like adds a little something extra to her. I am going to try to price her out for $20. I do feel like based on like the sewing and stuff like that, even though it's a very easy pattern, except for like the color changes in the sewing, it took up time to do the sewing, as it always does. So I do feel like that justifies a slightly higher price point. We'll see if it sells there. I'm matching it with, I'm obsessed with this Highland cow, also a free pattern from the Friendly Red Fox on Instagram. I did not make this one this week. I made a bunch of them like a week or two ago, but like, look at the two of them together. I feel like that's so cute. So I feel like I'm gonna partner these up. These I'm going to try to sell for 25. These I want to try to sell for 20 and just kind of, you know, like, look at them. Isn't that not the cutest little set of cows that you have ever seen? And they both worked up so quickly and so easily once you kind of got the rhythm with the color changes. So other than sewing, these have to be like two of my new favorite patterns for cows, for sure. So that's it. So this is another $20 in inventory that I made this week. Definitely added that little bit of extra, which I feel like made her stand out a little bit, but can't deal with cuteness. Cannot deal with cuteness. It definitely came up a little smaller than I expected to. That's the only thing to kind of note about her. I might actually try to make her in the Premier Jumbo XL because it doesn't actually take that much yarn, and I do have a couple of those skeins like hanging around. I was making jumbo mallards from Crochet by Jenna a while back, and I have some leftover color that I did not use, so I might try to make a cow in those. I might try to make like a little sunflower cow. I feel like that would be super cute with this one, and based off the shortness of the rows, I could see that I have enough yarn to do that. Hopefully I'll play some yarn chicken and we'll see how that goes, but she'll just be so cute in that jumbo size, I feel like, too. So that's her. That's this little cow, 1 cent crochet, free YouTube tutorial. Definitely check that out. I think she took half hour on the tutorial, so it's definitely a quick make once you kind of get the rhythm of what you're doing. Another free pattern that I did, Juniper Jellyfish. This people might have seen. This is a little more popular. Sweet Softies is the pattern creator. I made this in a Hobby Lobby yarn that is actually like, it's not a plush yarn, which is rare that I'll make my stuffed animals not in a plush yarn. But for this one, I had bought a bunch of these skeins during Hobby Lobby's clearance, which they run twice a year, 75% off clearance. So I got the skeins for $1.24 each, and I think it takes half a skein to make one of these jellyfish, so you know, like 75 cents. These do have a higher price point. I am going to try to sell these for about $25, partially because they are more time consuming. The tentacles in particular, like, they kill my hands. I don't know about anybody else. Like, I wear my gloves, my compression gloves, and I'm trying to chain loosely, but they definitely, it's hard to make the tentacles. I don't remember the name of this yarn, if it's something that interests you, because it's like sleek and shiny, like I like. I will definitely drop the name when I edit afterward of that yarn in here. But I will say the only other thing about this is that when I did use that yarn, I did choose to hot glue, because you tie these in, and I chose to hot glue, which maybe I could single crochet them in actually as I talk with you guys, to make it no sew for these ones. And maybe that would help me. But what I found was if I did not glue these, when you pulled on them, the knot kind of was loose, and that made me nervous. So it was going to come out. I definitely don't want that to happen. So I just dabbed some hot glue on the back of all of that. Definitely gave some structure and reinforcement to it. And the same, like, I was able to add this little string in case somebody wants to hang their jellyfish, because it's, you know, looks so cute hanging up like that. I have made a couple of these. I can only make one of these like every few days because of the way it kind of hurts my hands to make these tentacles. But jellyfish are definitely a market seller. I only brought one jellyfish one time to a market. It sold immediately. And actually one of the other crochet vendors there, who actually sold mostly traditional crochet, like blanket scarves, that types of things, she had these, I don't know if there was these specific ones, but she had jellyfish, and she came over and like we were just chatting, and she told me she made like 50 of these and they all sold in one of her markets. So it's definitely a seller. They're definitely cute. You can definitely charge a little bit more, like the person that I charged $25 for, it wasn't even this jellyfish, it was a different type of jellyfish, and she had no problems with that price point or anything like that. So I felt like this was good. It worked up in, I'm like a medium pace crocheter, I would say, and it took me less than a couple hours to do that. The tentacles definitely, I mean, the tentacles take about 10 to 15 minutes to make for me. So that was the majority of the work. And then this is actually, if you worked in plush yarn, it would be large because it's a 54 single crochet around at its greatest circumference. So definitely would be a larger octopus if you're not jellyfish if you're not working in a worsted weight yarn. So just keep that in mind if you do want to make juniper jellyfish by Sweet Softies. Then those are kind of the things to know. But I love this one. I have another one in purple already done, and I'm working on a blue one also with this same yarn. They're also vibrant. You know, I feel like that's really cool for the jellies. So I have these. Free pattern, $25, another $25 in inventory there. And then I think this might be my last one, but I made this little monster. I am pretty obsessed with these guys. I made this one in the Premier Just Chenille yarn, and they are so cute in my opinion. I am gonna go with a $25 price point, not 25, I'm gonna go with a $20 price point on these just because they're a little bit bigger. And I do feel like, you know, they're gonna sell. And so that will be something that works out. It takes probably maybe like 80 yards of the Just Chenille for it. So not that much on them. Probably cost me $3 to make. But I am gonna go for 20. The labor on this was maybe a little over an hour for me, maybe less. I honestly should have timed it and I didn't. I have 2 of these already in my inventory. This is the 3rd one. I hope to have 10 of them because I do think people are gonna like them. I'm gonna make a few other colors for them. But this was a free pattern on Instagram. I don't remember the name of the person, but I will definitely drop it in the description and on screen here. So I think that's it. I think we got to I think it's $643 in inventory that I have here based on what I made over the last week. Oh no, I missed this one. I randomly made this little T-Rex. It is another pattern, I believe by Sweet Softies, works up like half an hour. I'm gonna sell them for $12. I have a few of these already in my inventory in different colors, and I'd like to have a few more because I do feel like these little dinos are gonna be a seller for this year. So this worked out pretty quickly, free pattern. Again, I think it was Sweet Softies. If it wasn't, it was Rose and Lily, which is another great free crochet artist, but I will drop what that one was into the description and on the screen when I am editing for you folks. But yeah, I randomly made this one just because my crochet ADHD kicked in and I felt like making a little dinosaur. I actually feel like making giant dinosaurs. I want to make a couple of the Tanner the Triceratops from the Nicole Chase, which are also free patterns. They are so cute and they are an attention grabber, let me tell you. I think I've made them before and I think I dropped them in my videos before, but I'll put a sample up just so you can see them, but I want to make a couple of those to kind of have those be eye catchers, and those I do sell for like a $45 price point and they sold. So those ones, definitely check them out. If you like to make the little dinosaurs, you can make them in all sorts of colors and combinations, and Nicole's patterns are super easy to follow and also free. So that's what I got. I got $643 in inventory this week, mostly on small items. I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys, share the knowledge about a few free patterns. If you are on Instagram, feel free to follow me on there. I would love to see more people over there as well. Ashley's Amis by Ashley on Instagram is my name there. And I do sometimes share these patterns and who created them there. So you might see other ones similar to this type of thing. And the YouTube ones as well. I have a harder time following along on YouTube tutorials. I'm more of a written pattern person, but there's plenty out there if you're looking for free patterns to get your stuff, to get your market inventory fleshed out. There's definitely a ton on YouTube, so feel free to check those out. And that's it. I just wanted to come on to share with everybody and say thank you to all the new subscribers. I'm so happy you're here. All my other previous subscribers, thank you for being here, for sticking with me. I hope that you're getting a little bit of entertainment out of these videos, and feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know maybe what your favorite market prep pattern is, and I will probably have to fill out my inventory with a few of those. But that's it. Just want to say thank you again to everyone for coming here today, watching me on YouTube. Happy Valentine's Day if you are out there celebrating. If you're over here crocheting like me, happy Wednesday. But definitely happy to see you all here. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and feel free to give me a like and subscribe if you are into my content. All right, it was so nice to see you all here today. Take care.